I know I look kind of crazy. I'm just finishing up my skincare routine, and if you do not have these gold eye patches in your life, you are missing out. Like, these are the best thing ever, the best invention for mamas with tired eyes and lack of sleep, but it also just feels so good. Like, they're very cooling. I keep them in my fridge and they're amazing, but I'm done with them. I'm gonna take them off, but I just had to share these with you guys because they are so good. I like don't go a day without using these. They feel amazing. And I just noticed my eyes looking so much brighter and more awake. So 10/10 recommend those eye patches. Welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a stay-at-home mama and blogger over on Instagram. And I just kind of wanted to take you guys with me today, getting ready for the day, just like chatting, catching up, kind of just having some girl talk, mom talk. Ask some questions over on Instagram. So I'm going to be going through some of those. So if you see me looking down, that's because I have like my list of questions down here. But yeah, I just wanted to get ready with you. I just did my skincare routine. I have half my hair curled and the other half up. That's how I usually do my makeup. So I'm going to get ready for the day as I answer some of these questions and just talk about life with you guys. If you can, get a cozy little drink and just settle in, because this will be probably not too long, but it'll kind of be like we're chatting and hanging out. Sadly, all I can have right now is water, so I just filled up my Stanley with ice water, and that's what I'll be drinking. But if you can have a cozy drink, some coffee or tea or something that you like, get that and snuggle up and let's just hang out. Okay, so I'm gonna start with just like some fun questions first, and then we'll get into some of the deeper questions that were asked. First one is favorite part about living in Tennessee, favorite places. I'm moving there at the end of the year. Well, first of all, congratulations on moving to Tennessee. I love it here. I think you're gonna love it too. It's a great place to live, a great place for us to raise our family. The people here are really nice. The community that we're in is really, really great. I love where we're plugged in at. I love our church here. I love the scenery in here in Tennessee. I think it's a lot more beautiful than people actually realize. Like, we have tons of hiking trails and waterfalls, places that have been said to look like Hawaii or other states that have really beautiful waterfalls as well. So I love the mountains. I just love the landscape here in Tennessee. And I've come to like the weather. When I first moved here, it was way too hot for me. I'm a northern girl, I'm from Michigan, and I just couldn't do it. But the scenery, I love the weather. And then I would say some of my favorite places are, of course, Nashville. I always love Nashville. I'm kind of a city girl a little bit when it comes to that. And then, like I mentioned, hiking places, there's beautiful waterfalls, and I love their lakes. They're so cool. They're very different from northern lakes, and I love they're like in the mountains. So lakes, hiking trails, and of course Nashville would be some of my favorite places. Next question was, what is my biggest pet peeve? And I'm honestly a pretty chill person, but one thing that does really get me is drivers, people that drive slow or like take forever to turn off the road. Don't go when the light turns green, like they're not paying attention. That can get me, and I have to watch myself and pray for Jesus to check my heart, because that's definitely one of my pet peeves. Okay, next question was, how did you and Josh meet? We met at a wedding. My cousin married Josh's brother, and I was like in the wedding, and so was Josh, and that is the first time we met. He had met a couple of my other siblings, and I kind of knew like who his family was, but I had never actually met him. And then he said it was love at first sight for him. It was not for me, but it came very quickly after the fact. So I was 14 and he was 18 when we met. Favorite places to shop for a toddler. So I shop at like a lot of just normal places. I'll always check like Walmart and Target whenever I'm there, just to see if they have anything good. And sometimes I hit the jackpot and sometimes they have nothing. But as far as small shops, I'll list out a couple here that I like that are pretty affordable, and I'll check quite often. And then I also shop at Zara for him quite a bit for like capsule pieces. And they have some really good basics that are honestly just as well priced as places like Target. You just kind of have to know what to look for. So those are my top places for Aaron. Okay, next question is, what is one goal that you have this year? One of my goals this year is just to continue healing my body and getting super healthy. If you follow me over on Instagram, you would already know this, but I am on a very strict eating lifestyle right now. I don't really want to call it a diet because it's something that I'm trying to change in my overall lifestyle. It's not just something I'm doing for like 30 days to like lose weight or something. I'm trying to change my lifestyle to be more healthy, non-toxic, all of those things. And it's because when I got pregnant with Aaron, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, and I was put on medication. And while that has helped a lot of things, it's also hurt a lot of things. So this year I'm really focusing on healing my body, healing my gut with natural things. So I'd say that's like my biggest goal, is just to get super healthy, to be more educated on health stuff. I kind of joke that I'm like a closet crunchy mama or like non-toxic person, because I don't talk about it a ton because I know it can be quite controversial. And I'm still learning a ton, so I don't want to speak before I know what I'm talking about. But it is something I'm very passionate about, and I'm constantly researching and looking into it. It's something that me and my husband work at every day. So I feel like I am a pretty crunchy mama, or I'm getting there, and we do live pretty non-toxic. But that's a fun fact about me you may not have known, is we are definitely headed in that direction, and that's one of my very big goals for this year. And that kind of leads me into the next question, which I got several times and I get quite often, is, are you trying for more kids? Are you waiting a while? When is baby number 2 coming along? Kind of just questions like that. Like, do you want more kids? How many kids do you want? But the truth is, I'm really gonna try not to cry. We have been trying to get pregnant for 2 years now, since Aaron was 1. We always thought that we would have our first 2 kids like pretty close together, and then maybe wait for a gap, and then, have more. We would love to have lots of children. Me and Josh both love kids, and we feel that desire has been put in our heart to have a big family. So we got pregnant with Aaron very quickly, and I was actually quite sick at that time. During my pregnancy with him is when I got diagnosed with UC. So I was not in good health when we first got pregnant, and it was kind of a surprise that I did, because I didn't even think that I could get pregnant at that point for how sick I was. So he was a blessing. He is such a miracle baby, and we are so grateful for him and how it happened. But since we got pregnant with him so quickly, even when I was in such bad health, we just didn't really think that it would ever be hard to get pregnant. Infertility or anything like that doesn't run in my family or Josh's family. So it just wasn't really something that I thought about happening. I mean, I knew that obviously my body wasn't the healthiest. I don't know, just because of how it happened with Aaron, I didn't really think much more of it. But we have been trying for 2 full years very actively. We went to a doctor when we were about like 6 to 8 months into trying, just because I wanted to make sure like nothing was actually wrong besides us not getting pregnant. Like something maybe happened with my birth during Aaron, or I don't know, like I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything more wrong that I was missing. They said everything looked good, and he said, you guys are both healthy, you got pregnant with your first pregnancy fairly quickly, it just looks like you need to keep trying. He said try for another year and then come back and we'll go from there if you're still not pregnant. But he goes, I feel like you'll be pregnant before you come back. Well, a whole year and like 6 months went by and we still weren't pregnant since that appointment. So we had been trying for 2 years. We were just like praying a ton about it, just like felt like we were in this kind of like waiting period, still feel like we're in this waiting period, and just really trying to seek God's heart on it. Like, okay, what is this season supposed to be? Like we thought that this would happen so easy. We thought we'd be in such a different place at this point. And especially for me, it's been very hard and really heavy. And I know that there's so many women out there that struggle with this and that don't even have any children yet and never even gotten pregnant yet. And I have the blessing of having, you guys, I did not think I was gonna cry. I have the blessing of having a son, a baby, and I've had a pregnancy, and it was really good. So I feel kind of selfish sometimes to even be crying about this, because I have a child and I have experienced that. And I know that there's women out there who haven't experienced either and have been waiting so much longer than I have to get pregnant. I can't do my makeup and cry. It's not good. That's not a good combination. But I just feel like I feel a very small amount of pain of what a lot of women feel, for many years. So I sympathize with you what I can, and know that you are not alone, and you are in my prayers, and we're in this together. So yeah, it's just been a really hard season. God has been doing a lot of things in my heart specifically. I shared a playlist over on Instagram the other day that has just really been helping me, and I'll link it down below for anyone who's interested in that as well. because that has been just my rock throughout this whole thing, is just listening to truth through worship songs and reading truth over me through scripture. I want to link a couple videos below that have really blessed me. There's 2 videos specifically that I watched just a couple weeks ago that really helped me and blessed me. So if you're walking through a hard season, even if it's not pregnancy related or anything like that, I really recommend these 2 videos below, because they were so good, just in helping me get clarity in this past season. I'm still learning a ton, and still just trying to navigate this whole thing of just the unknown. This has just been a very big season for me spiritually, learning and growing my relationship with Jesus, and just letting this trial have its perfect work to produce, something beautiful, because I don't want to waste this time of waiting, even though that's been really hard. There's been a lot of questions and a lot of just prayer and asking God for wisdom, and he has been giving it. And I feel like the first year was the hardest, and walking kind of into the second year, there were seasons where I kind of just threw up my hands and was like, I'm just done trying for a little bit, we need a break. And then just in the past few months, I've really been like, okay, God, I need more wisdom, and I need strength to continue walking through this, because it just feels like it's not ending. And he has showed up in amazing ways. So I can go more into that if you're interested or if you have questions. And then we actually just had a repeat doctor's appointment on Monday, so like 2 days ago, just to kind of like check up again, because it's been over a year and we're still not getting pregnant, and that's kind of when he said to come back. So we went in, and it looks like there's nothing wrong, like physically wrong with like my ovaries or my fallopian tubes. There's no problems going on there. And they really just think, there's Bubba, just kind of talked over everything, where we're at right now, how long we've been trying, and all those things. And he seemed super positive about it, which was just really good to hear, because I've been a little anxious that maybe something else is wrong besides just like maybe not ovulating or something. But he said that he really thinks that it is just my body not ovulating enough, which is just crazy to think that it hasn't been doing that for 2 years. But he referred us to someone else that is more like a specialist in that, and I feel really good about it. I feel really peaceful about it. We've prayed long and hard about what to do, what are our next steps. Do we pursue this? Do we look into adoption? Like, there's been so many things that we prayed about and looked into and just sought God's wisdom on, and we feel peaceful with this route so far. That kind of goes along with the health thing, where there is so much that I am doing and have been doing for like the past year now to get my body healthy, to heal my fertility naturally. And I have noticed some really positive changes that have been amazing. So yeah, my goal for this year, along with getting healthy, is to get pregnant. We're really hoping that this is our year to do that. We would love to grow our family. We've always said that we want up to like 7 kids. And it looks like we're getting kind of a slow start, but it's been good learning season for us, and it's been a lot for me and Josh just to work through and to grow together as a couple as well. But it's been really super hard. Like, I gotta tell you, it's been very hard, and it's still very hard. And there's been a lot of tears, and there's been a lot of anger and frustration and just disappointment and confusion with this whole journey. I feel like just recently I've gotten more to the point of just feeling energized again from God, and just wisdom from other people that have really been pouring into me, and just making sure that I'm getting into scripture and putting things in place that remind me of truth. So if you're in a place of hardship, watch those videos below, because they have helped me so much. And just know that you need to be speaking truth over yourself, and listening to things that are truthful and helpful, and have people around you who can lift you up and build you up, because that has been just one of the best things. So I know that was a long-winded answer, but I've been kind of wanting to answer that question more in depth, just because there's a lot there. And I've been honestly a little bit afraid to say that we're dealing with infertility, because I don't think it's quite that big of a problem. Like, I'm not going to need like IVF at this point, as far as they know. So I've been kind of hesitant to use that word, but there is some fertility issues and hormonal issues going on that are causing us to not get pregnant. So I just wanted to share that and be open with you guys. If you are going through anything like this, infertility or infant loss or anything like that, please comment below. I would love to pray over you guys and link arms with you and walk through this with you, because you are not alone. There's people out there that would love to walk with you through this, me included. I would love to be there for you and pray with you. So please comment below if you have any prayer requests or you know someone who's walking through this. And I really just want to take the time this week to pray over you guys and pour into that and share scripture with you guys. So I'm going to link some scriptures below, have really helped me during this time. I'm going to link my playlist and those 2 videos that I talked about that have been so helpful. Okay, we're going to move on to some more questions. I'm almost done getting ready. The question is, how is the venue coming along? The venue is coming along so good. We actually have like our first like event. It's not a wedding, but it's like an event where a bunch of photographers are coming to take photos, scheduled for like 6 weeks out. So that is super exciting. It's going to be really large. We're gonna have a ton of photographers come and just take photos of the venue for like our brand and our website. So that is really exciting. 6 weeks, we should be at a point where we're done enough to get photos, which is really exciting. I finished curling the rest of my hair for the last bit of this Q&A. Question was, how do you entertain Aaron at home? So toy rotation is huge, and if you don't know anything about that, I can go more in depth about that another time, but it's basically just having certain toys out for a week or maybe 2 weeks and then rotating all those toys to new toys. Not necessarily that you go out and buy new toys, but you have all their toys and you only put a few out at a time, if that makes sense. So toys that they already have feel like new after they haven't seen them for a couple weeks, and it keeps them a lot more interested in their toys, and they don't have so many at once where they just don't even play with any of them because it's overstimulating. And then sensory play would be my next thing. And Aaron is at a really fun age, he's 3, so it's actually fairly easy to have him involved in the things that I'm doing, whether it's dishes or helping prep dinner. Like, he loves to help. So if your child's at an age to do that, just start incorporating that with them, and you might be surprised how much you both like it, because Aaron really likes to do things with me. Next question is, how do you guys budget and communicate about spending? So this is a little bit of a hot topic. Definitely one of the bigger, I don't really want to say issues in our marriage, but something that we talk a lot about. Josh is very good at this, and he handles money very well. He is very good at investing. He loves planning with money and talking about money and budgeting. And I, on the other hand, am not very good at this. I'm actually quite bad. And we definitely have lots of conversations about it. And since I am not very good at this, just not the best at budgeting, Josh definitely kind of takes initiative to plan out our budgets and then kind of gives me the layout, and that's what I follow just because that's easier for me. It's easier for him. He likes doing it. I don't really like doing it, so he kind of figures up our budgets and then I just try to follow them. And if we go over, we just talk about it and communicate and go from there and try to set boundaries with it, especially for me because I love to go shopping and stuff. I think one of the biggest things for me is just learning and realizing that you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. And that can be really hard on social media, especially when you're sharing on social media. I feel like there's a lot of pressure there to have a lot to share all the time. And that just takes a lot of money. And we're in a season of starting a new business and all those things. Oh my gosh. And that just is not really feasible for us right now. And sometimes I can kind of get caught in this rut of like, oh, I need to keep up with everyone else, or I need this new thing or that new thing, or I don't have enough of something. And that has really stolen a lot of my joy in a lot of scenarios. And it's put us in situations where I've spent money that I shouldn't have. So I think if you are someone who kind of tends to be more like that, like me, and it's not always wrong, and it's fine to enjoy shopping and have nice things and whatever, have things for your family, but just knowing your heart behind it. And I think sometimes my heart behind it is not the best, and just creating a better relationship with money where I'm not buying things just to keep up with someone else, you know, and I'm making sure that we're staying within our budget because we're planning for our future, or we're starting a new business, or we want to grow our family or our finances, or we want to invest. So I just have trouble seeing that far into the future, and I'm thinking like, oh, but right now we can do this or that. So Josh is a very good balance for me, but then I also just have to like check my heart and make sure I'm being wise with the money that we are given as well, because we are a team in this. So not alone if you struggle with that and you want things kind of now and you're a little bit impatient, because that is me. I just gotta check my heart on those things. Okay, next thing is, someone said getting married and moving to a new state far from family and friends, advice. So this is a great question because I literally did this exact thing. Me and Josh got married and I lived in Michigan, like I said, and we moved down to Tennessee because that's where he lives, and he had a house down here, and we prayed about it, and that just made the most sense for us. He had already started a business down here and all the things. So even though all of Josh's family was down here, so technically we have family here, I did not know them like very well, and we weren't like super close with any of them, and none of my friends lived in Tennessee. It was really, really hard, and it was really scary. We also got pregnant like the second month into our marriage, so that was a whole new thing added into there besides just being newly married in a new state and away from my family. So I would say my advice is to really just push yourself to go out of your comfort zone. I'm a very introverted person most of the time, and that made me even more so a homebody just because I didn't know anybody. So I would just say really try to push yourself. One of the biggest things that helped me was to get connected with a church that we loved right away. 3 months into our marriage, we found a church that we really loved, and we've been there ever since, and now we're both really involved. But that really just helped us to start get connected, start meeting new people even outside of Josh's family circles and stuff. Also give it time and give yourself grace because it is such a new, fresh season. Communicate with your husband, your needs. I cried a lot to Josh, just like, I don't have my family near me, and there was a lot of hard times, but just be open and honest with your significant other, and then give yourself time and really try to just push yourself out of your comfort zone. Definitely just pray about it as well. I still pray all the time just for God to connect me. Yes? No, not that one. For God to just connect me with the right people and the right friends. And I think that's always important, and that's something that God cares about. So pray about it as well, and God will bring things into your life. And I would also just say, like, enjoy that season. It's definitely going to be very new for you and your husband, but enjoy that season of you two learning together and growing together away from family or away from what you've always known, and just build a life together and build a community that you love and a home that you love. And just get to know each other more in that season too. I think that was actually really good for our marriage, and it drew us really close. So try not to despise the season, even though it can be rough. Okay, I'm all ready for the day, and I think that's where I'm going to stop with the questions that you guys gave. Those were really good and fun questions. I really enjoyed answering them, and hopefully I was able to be encouraging to some of you or just help you out in any way. Thank you so much for watching and joining me for today's video. I know it was kind of a short, different video than what I usually do. I just appreciate you guys being here. Please subscribe and comment if you can, or if you need prayer, I'd love to pray with you guys and pray over you. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one.